Hey everyone, welcome to or welcome back to Noras Cove. If you're new here, I'm Yoshida, and here at the Cove, we like to budget and plan in confidence using a planner. Today we're going to be doing our paycheck budget. Let's get into it. And matter of fact, I'm looking at monthly. Let me go ahead and mark that out. It was indeed $11.65. See what else. Did Zoom come out? Zoom hasn't come out yet. Still waiting on Canva. I marked Canva out, but it did not come out. Okay, let's get to our paycheck budget. And I've added this so I can put that away. Okay, you guys. So last week was pretty good, but what I'm finding is that I make good money. That's why I no longer put low income. I make good money, but because I get paid on a daily basis, it's kind of hard to project what I can pay or what I can make. And so if I'm getting like $100 this day, $200 that day, I'm like, well, I'm not going to have nothing but my booth rent. So I'm out here lollygagging and messing around. You know what I mean? So I need to like hone in and just not spend as much. But because I am in the beauty industry, like products cost, okay? You'll see when we do the breakdown, but let's get into it. Rollover, I realized I had like extra $45, so I did that here, and I put $228.94. That was our actual rollover, and then in hair, I guesstimated I would make $800 because it looked a little slow. I ended up making $1,183 in hair. For nails, I was kind of on the money. I said $150. I made $165, and for NoCo, I said $40, but I ended up paying myself $77. So I ended up with $1,653.94. Let's get into the bills. I could have paid Allie, but I thought Allie was doing the 5th, but it's doing the 9th. But I still should have paid like my State Farm bill, but I just didn't see it. I'm doing air quotes. I just didn't see it. And so I paid, Acuity came out at $21.20. Apple came out at $3.49. Canva, I thought it came out, but it didn't. I ended up ordering something for Canva for the business. And so I scratched that out. So Canva will probably come out this week, so we're going to move them to this week. And then Apple Music came out at $11.65. Sweet Rent, I kept forgetting to put this down, so I already put it on the next week. $300, and then Barclays, that finally came out at $150, and ChatGPT came out at $848. My total ended up being $494.82. Okay, let's move on. Let me get in so you guys can see. And then here for gas was $59.96. And then NoCo, we spent $78.28. So as you can see, it just pays what I pay myself. So that total came up to $138.24. And then for miscellaneous, you're going to see a lot of scratching out because my numbers were off and I wanted to get my numbers correct. So miscellaneous, we spent $170.88. I paid my B-Day Club at $25, Girls Trip at $53, food and grocery came up to $419.46. This is a lot, but I'm gonna tell you why. This is probably the most because I did. Let me see. Yeah, this is the most I've spent because I went to the grocery store several times because. Let me tell you something. Them TikTok recipes, baby, I done found this. I don't know if y'all follow her name is Jen Morales. I found this Mexican lady and I keep making the recipes. So I've spent most of this is in grocery. Okay, I barely ate out, but most of it is in grocery. And then also we celebrate a birthday. My little friend group, when I put down that I had to go to lunch last week, my friend's birthday was in February, so we just put a couple of dollars to her food when we went out. So that's probably why that's high. And then salon, I spent $132.58. Miscellaneous, that goes here, but I found it later. And so it was missing from that, so I put $19.06. And then we end up spending $819.98. And then we were able to put $34 in cash savings. And then for the week here, because I think I was forgetting that $19, let me see. Oh no, this is the remaining. So what I should have remaining. We still are off here. So let's get into it. So total income, $1,653.94. Total bills was $494.82. I'm just gonna double check. I shouldn't have to, but I think that's correct. $494.82. $494.82. And then expenses over here, $138.24. Envelopes over here. So I think that's with the 1906. So yeah, $819.98. And then savings was $34. And then you'll see what I have remaining is I'm off by $3 the last I checked, but let's see. So let's put our total in. Total income. So we have $1,653.94 minus $494.82 minus $138.24 minus $819.98. I did 5. Ugh. Minus the 34, and that leaves us with 167 actually. And also something that I'm doing, I realize like if I pay cash, I need to round that number up because the change is just in my purse. So I believe that's what's going on here. So here we have 163.79 where it says we have 166.90. We do not. We have 163.79. And actually, that could be 164. Let's just make it even 164. So we're only off by like $2. Okay, here I've already put Sweet Rent and Alley because I kept forgetting to write Sweet Rent, and I didn't want to forget Alley is due on the 9th. Okay, what is our guesstimate for hair? I'm going to put 1,000. For nails, I'm going to put 150. For no code, I kind of know what it's going to be. So we're going to put, what I'm going to pay myself rather, we're going to put 85. And we may be a little off there. So let's do the total. Well, I'm still at that 164. $13.99 is what we have. Okie dokie. So we should have $1,399. First, we're going to start with a Sweet Rent, and then we know Canva. I'm going to put them here on the 10th. And Canva is about $16. Not sure. I need to squeeze in State Farm. And it's like $5.66. I'm going to put $5.67. I don't know what day I'll get to them. And let's check our monthly. Oh, Navy Federal Credit Union and CapCut. Okay. Navy Federal Credit Union and CapCut. CapCut is about $10. What date was that? Just that fast. I know the 13th. Okay. So, Navy Federal Credit Union, I want to give them like 35. I don't owe them but 20. CapCut is 10. So, let's do the total. I'm going to exclude State Farm, okay, for now. So, we have $1,111, and that is excluding State Farm, but I know we're going to kind of get to them. We have gas coming out at 58 that I know of. So far, I don't need anything for no code. That will go over here because I did get ink last week. That's why it was so high. And then miscellaneous, I never really know. I think what I'm going to do is just start filling these in later because I don't think I need anything for the salon. But I did order something, but the guy didn't come, and so I need to pay him. So we'll leave that like it is. Cash savings, I don't know. We'll just have to kind of fill this in next week. But if I was to guesstimate food and grocery this week, I'm not going to the grocery store like I did. So let's subtract 58 from, let's see, 111 from 13.99. That leaves us with 288. Subtract 58, leaves 230. And then food and grocery, let's give ourselves a $80 limit. Leaves us with 150. And then I'm going to just give it all to, give them 100. That leaves us with 50, and we'll put that in savings. So if I was to zero base my budget out, that's how it would go. But we can see next week. And that's it for today, you guys. I do want to kind of close out each week, but what I'm going to do is kind of do that off camera. Let me see. Here's our budget closeout. And so we're in March. It's the first week of March. Let's write that down. All right, and let's switch. So yeah, so that way at the end of the month, we should be okay. Or the beginning of the month, we can be okay. So this was our first week. So let's put 3, 2 through 8. Our source, just income. We budgeted $1,173.94, and our actual was $1,653.94. For bills, putting 1, budgeted $802.49. Our actual was $494.82. $494.82. Savings was 34. Let's see. I'm just going to put the 8th. Deposit amount 34. No withdrawal. Our balance should be 34. Okay, cash envelopes. That's over here. It's $819. I'm just going to put the total $819.98. I don't think we guesstimated anything for this. Yeah, we didn't put a guesstimate. Okay, and then debt payoff, we have none. Well, I guess we did. We paid Barclays, so I did say that. 150, and it ended up being 150. And then expenses came to 138.24. And we budgeted 210. And that's everything. Sinking funds, that's everything. And then our summary, we'll do that at the end. So that's how we closing out that's how we're closing out our budget every week. So I'm gonna find March in my monthly section here, and I'll put it behind there so it'll be easy for me to find. So here we go. And that's it for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If today was your first time watching any of my videos and you enjoyed today's video, please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.